Okay, doing something I never said I would do. I'm going to play Ordis. It has been asked for, it has been requested, has been begged for, and I am finally giving in. But I don't have to play Waru. I don't have to play Sigismar. Don't have to bring myself that far down into the dirt. I can play Gulrang. So I had a great idea of a two-part video where in the first part I play Gulrang with just Beyond the Gates, see how it feels, see how the games go, and then in part two we play Gulrang with Trial by Frost support. So how does Gulrang feel after the second set of altered TCG? This set specifically has more support for Gulrang and her hero ability. So this is part one. I'm going to just quickly go over the deck that I made, how it feels, go over some stats from playing it, and maybe go through one game really quickly. Don't want this first video to be too long. Both decks will have 0 uniques and will be approached as a more casual collection type video. So you're not going to have to spend hundreds of dollars to collect all these specific cards or uniques. This is how it's going to feel for the average person, maybe getting just one box about. So let's see how Gulrang is in Beyond the Gates. All right, so we are jumping right into the middle of a game against Sigismar, and I actually feel pretty good about where I am at currently. I am tied up with Sigismar, which is great, and they just put out an Ordis Bastion, so I might have a chance to get a little bit of a lead here if I work it out correctly. So let's see here. Let's sabotage their Ordis Spy real quick here. They have no mana left. So one of the big things about Gulrang in Beyond the Gates is when you are making a lot of your expeditions defender, you're not getting moves very often, and your opponent can get ahead of you very easily. I've had games where my opponent basically had 2 spaces left, and I was not even out of the starting area before I could get online. Right now, being tied, especially with the Sigismar at 5 mana, getting closer and closer to building up, I'm feeling pretty decent. We're going to block this companion side, and we're going to get a move here on the hero. Now, these two are going to be pretty scary going forward, but I also kind of have sort of a Monolith Bastion built in, just not quite as good. But you'll notice there are not many cards that benefit Gulrang if your expedition is behind in Beyond the Gates. There are cards that benefit if your expedition doesn't move forward, which I have some of those in this deck, like your Ordis Attorney. But with the release of Trial by Frost, there are actually cards that benefit you if your expedition is behind, or cards that remove Defender, which is going to be really good for Gulrang. So I will tell you some stats of playing Gulrang this weekend because it's very sad. And then in the part 2 video, we'll also track the same kind of stats and go over them. So let me think through mana here real quick. So we're going to go up to 6 mana. And that would be 2 here, 5 here, and then that. So I hate to get rid of the Jeanne d'Arc, but I think maybe we just get rid of the charge. Let's save the Jeanne d'Arc. It might not be a good decision, but I think with where we're at now, we might actually be able to utilize her and come out swinging as we progress. All right, so this is going to create an Ordis Recruit, but it is also going to make it so we have Defender. So the Ordis Gatekeeper is going to put a token in the other expedition. And as of now, it will allow me to move on the hero side if Siggy doesn't play anything over there. So let's play that there. Let's start blocking this side and see how they answer. Okay, so it's still highly likely that the Sigismar will be able to contest over here, or maybe they'll think they'll get away with just having one more water, which is what this sneaky Paper Herald is for. Right now, I am beating them in Companion, and although my expedition will not move forward because of the Defender, I am moving forward over here currently, unless they play a charge. However, they'll still move. Yes, so it didn't quite fully work out, but I am not too pressed. I am feeling pretty good about this game so far, especially against Sigismar. We're going to get online here in not too long, so I just need to stick in there. All right, so we're jumping back into the game when I am fully online. I have 8 mana orbs and it's not looking great. And this is pretty typical to how it can feel playing Gulrang in Beyond the Gates. And this Siggy basically is going to win because of Open the Gates, which is what they hit me with last turn. I just had no way to contest it. Beyond the Gates matched with this Bastion is just really strong. And I have actually not been able to get out my landmark, so I don't even have a boosted recruit over here. I am going to place this Jeanne d'Arc here, and I'm basically screwed. Like, they're gonna win here. Obviously, if you have a more perfectly tuned deck, you have some really good uniques. You might be able to hang in there a little longer, but I just wanted to show what it kind of feels like now during Beyond the Gates now versus how it's going to improve. Great, I'm being hit with sticky notes. Ooh, but it's gonna leave. Are they gonna decide to do that? Okay, this might actually change it. They targeted their own Bastion. Okay, that was obviously a misplay. It's not gonna matter either way because they do have the stats to double advance here. But that was almost very interesting. They are going to win, and that kind of gives you the feeling of Gulrang. There are very few people as well who have taken it to, top 16 in tournaments, but I think that's going to change. So let's take a look at the deck real quick. I did try something a little different, and at times it worked out, but the moral of the story is most of the time I'm just too far behind to catch up. And some of the things I tried didn't really work out because of that. Okay, so here is the deck. For the most part, it has a lot of things that Gulrang would want to use. Your Jeanne d'Arc, your Ratatoskir, Ortis Troopers, just good low-cost unit. Ortis Cadets, Ortis Gatekeeper. And then I'm actually not sure if a lot of people really play both Monolith Rune Scribe and the Ortis Attorney. There's not a lot of Gulrang deck lists out there. So we also have your charge, your teamwork training. I decided to leave sticky notes out because if you're behind, it's removal of higher cost characters. It might not be great. That was just a decision I tried out. And then we have the Ortis Carrier and 2 rare Grand Endeavors. Now, obviously, the concept here is if you're able to get the Grand Endeavor out by turn 6, you're going to get 2 moves before you hit 8 and come fully online. The downside is it is very costly. 2 Isatoks in there in case maybe you don't have the Grand Endeavor and you need to slow things down even more. Once again, it's kind of costly. So the statistics that I tracked over the last 2 days. I lost against Tasia 3 times in a row. I don't know what that day was, but Tasia. I lost against Siggy twice. You just watched one of them. And then we did lose a Kojo game, but their deck was very heavily trial by Frost. They had a pretty good unique, so I did not add that to the statistics at this time. But I'm gonna try one more game and we'll see if there are any points during the game that I can record and show you to just kind of further explain my feelings of Gulrang in Beyond the Gates. Here we are once again, and we are facing another Tasia. I am very glad to see more and more Tasia players out. As you'll see, I'm kind of hanging in there, but I am obviously still behind. We are ever so close to making it to 8 mana orbs. That right there is definitely going to hurt. Water up to 4. We're only going to be able to get it up to 3. They have another sleep. There's basically no reason for me to play anything here. I do like that we're going to have a recruit stick around, though. It'll still be on the 7 mana cycle, so it'll still cause Defender. But hopefully we can get our good old Jeanne d'Arc out. And once we hit 8, we can start running away. We finally get a Ortis carrier. I'm going to get rid of that. Now we have the very hard decision of we can play these two, but not get that out yet. So we will load up our recruits over here, hope that they go to just contest this side, and we'll sneak our lovely little armored. Ooh, no. We get hit with the Hydra, which is gonna at some point get kind of easier for us to remove, depending on how many tokens we can start generating. We do have one teamwork training there in the discard. This is where not having a sticky note might hurt us, but we will see. Once again, right as I'm about to hit 8 mana, we are just... they're one away from winning, essentially. And we'll see if we get a good pull here. That Hydra's going to go up in more. The resupply could be good. Right now we can remove a 4 cost, so we need this character and 2 more recruits, essentially. It's not too bad, but it is tough. So, dilemmas. This is kind of exactly what I wanted to portray, though, is if you are just building a Gulrang deck in Beyond the Gates and, you're not buying up perfect little everything and uniques, this is how it feels. And when we jump into the Trial by Frost video, which will come out really soon after this, we're going to do the same way, and I imagine it's going to feel a lot better. Problem is now we have to do mana. We're too far into the game for the Ortis carrier, which is very unfortunate. But let's see if we can survive and get anywhere against this Hydra. The good news for us here is we do have card advantage. They don't have too many options. They are able to sleep something of ours. We don't have to worry about sabotage. So we are up to 5. I don't know if that resupply was very great for us. Probably more so wanted something that was going to create a recruit. All right. So now they can sleep something we have. So what we're probably gonna do is, what do they need? Oh, they just have so much nature. But we do have this teamwork training. I don't think we're going to remove the Hydra, but we're going to remove this Yongsu, and we should get a move out of here. We're still hurting, though, because we did not get our Jeanne d'Arc out. Who knows what we're going to pull here? At least we'll draw a card from the attorney. It's going to be tough. There we saw the sleep on a token. Let's go ahead and get rid of their Yongsu there. It's going to allow me to move. And although I pulled that off, we're going to get some card draw here. They are going to be just right there face to face. Oh, and it's just another Rune Scribe. And we got another Ratatosker. We're going to be at 9 mana, so we can probably get away with one of these. And then this is 3, this is 5. I can't play both. Alright. I think this is it. I think we're cooked here. We have no answer for that Hydra. Once again, we are against Muna, so we should not have to worry about... Oh, yeah, we should get the resupply first, honestly. I swear I hit cancel. I'm gonna look that footage back. I thought I hit cancel and it played it over here. I must have clicked the wrong button. No! Oh well, at least we're contesting them on this side now. I was just about to say how I should play the Rune Scribe first to see what we resupply. Oh, now they got a Verdant back here, huh? They're just going hard. Yeah, this would have been so perfect if we didn't accidentally play... No. Hopefully that kind of shows you how it feels currently. I'm sure there's people who have built a better Gulrang deck in Beyond the Gates, but I mean, I didn't expect to lose 6 games in a row, but it is going to give us a good idea of how much better it feels in Trial by Frost, just making wins a little easier, or at least not losing 6 in a row. Okay, so I have opened a couple packs of Trial by Frost. I have gotten some promo boosters, things like that. So I am going to get to work right away, opening a couple more packs, building a deck that includes both Trial by Frost and Beyond the Gates cards. And once I get it built, we're just going to jump right into some games, and I will get part 2 of this video out as soon as I can. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you would do different about the deck considering only Beyond the Gates, and maybe predict what we will see in the Trial by Frost deck.